Hello folks, we're here today reviewing the Asus C302, I think it's called. Is that what it's called, Arch?
Yes.
C302 Chromebook. So this is kind of essentially Chromebooks, if you don't know, are a platform to be able to use Google apps. These are the apps that sort of really work best with Google's Chrome browser and are cloud-based apps for word processing, Google Docs and Google Sheets and Google Slides and various other Google bits and pieces. And so for about £300 or £400, maybe a bit cheaper, but in the case of this one, I bought it second-hand on eBay, 325 quid. I think retail something like 450. I don't know what it is in dollars. And it's kind of almost like my MacBook Pro. It looks pretty much like my 13-inch MacBook. Do you reckon, Arch?
Yeah,
it's quite similar. So, and it's got a backlit keyboard. Actually, I'm really impressed with it. It looks great. And it's got an on-off button here, volume up and down, USB-C, in fact it's got two of those, it's got one on each side, another one here, a little micro SD slot there if you want to add memory cards in. And these, not surprisingly I suppose, these USB slots here can also be used for charging. You can put the charger in either side and it works absolutely fine. Now Chromebooks are used really as a platform for all the Google Docs, you know, and so if we have a quick look, I think we're signed in as you here, Arch, if you don't mind. So the whole point is that you work through the Chrome browser, which comes pre-installed on the machine, and you can use Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, whatever you want to use, and you can put icons for some of those down here at the bottom. And you can also, I think on this model, install apps off of the Android Play Store, and I installed Netflix on here as well, so I'll show you that in a moment. If we just have a look quickly at what most people will be using this for, which is word processing and stuff like that. You can work offline because apparently you can cache some documents, but I guess it really has most of its power and effectiveness if you're using it online with Google Docs. So can I open your, this looks like your homework, can I open this, Arch? Okay. No sort of state secrets in here, Victorian schools. Okay, so this is something I guess Archie put together for his homework a little bit a while ago. And is this reasonably easy to use, Arch?
Yeah, it's very easy. Very good.
And like putting photos in and stuff like that, because it always seems like a difficult thing to do through a web app, but it's easy on here?
Yes, very easy.
Cool, okay.
Very good.
And so this is, what do? You just, well, I see, you just move things around in it. Okay, so it's essentially like Microsoft Word used to be, i.e. simple and easy to use. It's very straightforward, and you organise your files on Google Drive. Okay, that makes sense. I see you've got your Captain America logo on here as well. Very cool. Okay, let's have a quick look. You've got Gmail. So you can have multiple users on here as well. So if I press this lock key here, it allows me to sign out as Arch, and I'll log in as me, because I think I've got Netflix installed, so I'll have a quick look at that. It takes a couple of seconds. You can see you get these multiple personas on the screen here. Whoever you've logged in, that's me, it's Thor up there. Let's log in. It's me. And once you've logged in, you can, of course, in the same way you could with any browser, actually log into multiple different Google accounts and use them all and kind of switch between them. But whenever you're logged into a session, your default persona, if you like, is the one that you logged into that session with. You know, you logged into the Chromebook with. So here you can see down at the bottom, I've got my Netflix icon. In fact, if I press this little thing on the left here, this is kind of a bit like your Windows launcher, and shows you all the apps you've got. And if you want to drag particular apps down into the taskbar, you can just do it like that. You can get an app in the taskbar, so that's kind of pretty Apple Mac-y type style stuff. So it's very cool the way it works. And if we start up Netflix, you can see it works pretty well. We'll go in as me. Good look. No idea what that is. What should we watch? Something that's PG, hopefully. We're probably not allowed to show this, are we? But there we are, never mind. I just want to show that videos do work. And I do have a license for this, and we're not going to play the whole movie. So, I don't know, Ant-Man or something. Let's just play a bit of that. Just to sort of see what the movie playback quality is like. So this is an app. Obviously, I could play it straight through the browser. There we are.
Tell me that isn't what I think it is.
You can put the volume up. Don't infringe any copyright, but you can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Now, one of the interesting things is you can use this thing in tablet mode, which is you flip the screen back. So it's called a flip book, which is kind of a weird thing to call it. There we are. And the keyboard's on the back, which I really don't like because it feels a bit odd, like you're going to damage the keys and if you put it down, so I don't know how useful that is. It does seem quite appealing. You can turn it over and use it as a stand, but here's the but. The speakers are these little things here, and so the one on this side, because they're stereo, obviously, and so if you've got it like this, the speakers are at the back, and so you can't hear the sound because the sound's being projected backwards. So if you want to use it for movies, then you're best off having it this way around. Before I get any copyright notices that stop that. So overall, I think it's great for £300, £400, whatever it is, compared to my MacBook Pro, which I mean when I bought it was something like £1,200. I think they're even more now, almost £1,500. I think unless you're doing stuff like video editing or perhaps web page design using something like Sketch where you need to have an app installed, this Chromebook is an absolutely great bit of kit, and I've tried a few in various stores and they didn't really have a quality feel. This one does. It almost feels as good as that MacBook Pro. So if you're in the market for a good laptop for work, producing documents and things like that, this is a great option instead of Windows or macOS. And I think that's it, so see you next time.